It comes any, the chat that happens before anything else goes, which reminds me how much all of you are into the things that I'm writing about, like music, islands, rock and roll. I even have a poem I think you're going to hear about the Eagles. Visuals, I mean, you are my peeps. And I'm happy to be here in a city uh, of creative, neighborly spirit with people like Avacha and Dane. I mean, how lucky. But today's theme is origins, which I think some of you have already been reading to, and I'll be doing that. Um, but I'm going to start out with a reach out to you, creative people, poets, called Escapade. Speak to me through open windows, in licking language with familiarity fresh as it is tasty, but showing off in my shaded office so I can't but smile to let you know I know that it's you, not me. Send me a letter of love I don't know yet, but you know, because you are and you need a receiver to press yourself upon. Let me hear how you sing to yourselves when you're romancing yourselves, trying to get yourself into bed or out of it and over to the desk. Deliver to me a caring package of goodies you think I like because you binged on them. And treat me to the sources of what's nourished you and gotten you as far as me. Transmit to me groups of glyphs to get me spinning in your direction, drawn towards you through time and space, together in new orbits. Thank you. This is going back to an origin who actually I never got to meet my mother's father, my maternal grandfather, uh, a Russian Jew with an interesting personal history. This is called Freilach. There was giggle in the ghetto in his house when other things were scarce in Jewish Belarus. They came to him for that. Good old Aaron. He gave them happy at the counter with the medicine. Aaron giggled with his girls. With his sons, not so much. So they did it for themselves. Aaron did it with Enya, the girl he hired, and he took her giggle to bed in the back when his wife Anna wasn't watching. Before the revolution, which wasn't funny, Aaron took it all to Brooklyn and learned new jokes and what a drugstore was, and played poker and made gin and made more girls and boys with Anna. And when Enya showed up with her giggle, he moved her in and made 3 kids with her. Lots of laughs and latkes. I never met my grandpa. I miss it now, what and when I never was. But how I got here looks like him, tastes like him, smells like him, sounds like Aaron's giggle. Thank you. Now I come into the world, thanks to my mom. This is me and my mom. And this poem is Mother's Day on the Shore Path in Maine. Feel the spray behind this photo, 30 salt parts per thousand, soughing up on shore on that day, among all days, when she held me, washed out, glistening from her purposed amniotic fluid, 9 salt parts per thousand, to smile for her, to smile with her, to join that life among all lives, to listen then and there to the soughing sea, the tide beyond the time, and the love that laughs within it. And a little older, I meet the girl next door, Allison. This is an anecdote called Lucky Strikes. That used to be a brand of cigarettes for those of you that are really young. Whatever Allison wanted to do, I would have done whatever a 6-year-old could have done with the pretty girl next door. My dad was working at the lab. Her dad was shopping lumber for his business. My mom was practicing the piano. Her mom was chatting at the hair salon. That's the way kids get rid of their grown-ups. So Allison let me into her house, a house without brothers, a girly house, neater than our place, which was all brothers. Allison kept smiling back as we snuck around. That would have been enough. But then she said, let's go into the bathroom. Weird, but like I said, that was Allison. In a drawer in there, she found a pack of Lucky Strike cigarettes and a box of matches, and she took one and struck one and lit one. What a brave girl. My brothers never would have done that. And then she took a puff and handed it to me, and I wondered whether that's what love smells like. So I took a puff too. I smiled. Allison coughed and coughed and coughed and then threw up. Good thing we were in the bathroom. I'd never seen a girl throw up before. I'd never hugged a girl to make her feel better before. And then we both laughed and put everything back and went out front to make mud pies. So I guess that was a good day. Thank you. And here's a visit to down from Maine, where I grew up, to where all the rest of my relatives, the majority of my relatives, were in New York City. And a visit to my cousin Michael Weiss. This is called Bowling for Memories. 2 days left standing in 2015. 15, almost 16. No, I'm quite a bit older now. No, 12. I'll be almost 13. And cousin Michael is 16. Michael Weiss, Uncle George's second son. Is Mikey still alive? Mikey's 16, bigger than me, like my big brother Tony, but a funner bigger. Mikey slicks his blondish hair back with Brill cream and takes me to his dad's, my uncle's, pharmacy in Queens, where we can sit on stools of the soda fountain. Mikey can teach me how to flirt my way into getting served a cherry Coke by the cute Italian girl behind the counter. Mikey countering his New York accent across hers, puffing out his chest, watching hers. In a couple of days before I turn 13 or 70, Mikey will take me bowling, and he'll challenge me to throw enough strikes and spares to up my score to match my Jewish IQ. 136, not bad, kid. There's that snarky smile of Mikey's, brightened by his dad's dental plan, while the crooning of teenage heartthrob Frankie Avalon, who Mikey tries to look like, slips under the skirts of all the girls across the bowling alleys. Does Mikey know some of these girls? They look like they'd like to know him. My cousin, my big apple cousin Mikey. 2 days left standing in 2015. 9 days left standing before I'm in my 70s. What's in 70s anyway? Are there still girls? Still bowling alleys? Is there still rock and roll? Is Mikey still alive? What do you got for me now, cuz? Thank you. This is Surge, and this is into the Atlantic Ocean and out of it. I migrated my tears to somewhere else's season, displaced and rather wrinkled. They tasted still the same, tasted as I always thought they did, back there then. Do you remember? young and fresh among the pines, those tears, siblings of the sea. With her, I waded into that water, it surging in between our legs and splashing up around our chests. It left us after landed on the lawn, where I could shell her two-toned body from her lycra layer and lick the saline basting from her untanned breasts. I had to leave that ocean and that island, as she must have. We left the gull cries in that dusky day, the murmurs of that musky time, to do it somewhere where we do it with whom I do it now, and wherever she may be thinking of it, maybe. It's some time again, my time again. The season to cry for all seasons, to lick the streams of salt and go back down to the timeless taste of the ocean. Thank you. This is Near the Ocean, and this is an ekphrastic poem based on this painting, which some of you may well recognize. It's by Andrew Wyeth, called Christina's World. The poem is called Down a Piece. She lies downhill from the clapboard house and the barn, far from her bed, and she rises to rest down left on Wyeth's canvas. There she stretches along all our memories, where she may stay, if only she can, long past the sea-cooled day's dusk outside the town of Thomaston, and long after she's gone to ground in the town cemetery, and the artist has been lain beneath the worded stone, way down along the rolling hills of Pennsylvania. For now, with us, she feels with the brief, short life of a Maine meadow in all its amber multitudes. Her eyes, away from ours, watching the waves of simple splendor. No place for longing there. It's we who want her wanting. Thank you. This is a different sort, maybe, of ekphrastic poem. This is based on a scene from a movie, a 1960 movie called Picnic, which starred William Holden and Kim Novak and a few other people, including Susie Strasberg, the daughter of the people that founded the Actors Studio. Theme from Picnic. How warm Kansas in the dark middle of the evening, but strung alive with colored lights in the middle of a small town picnic, in the middle of Hal's 30-something unloosened bourbon, in the middle of little sister Millie's moist Midwest teenage teas. And the band sways, the temperate time of Irving Mills's Moonglow. Millie moving clumsily, but hoping to match the music and Hal's happiness. First, you got to set the rhythm. She hoping to be the fox in foxtrot, to trot towards a taking, and Hal so helpful, so leathern, so smiling. But darling Susie Strasberg, I wish I could do it. We'll have to wait a while for a sweaty scene with some younger method actor someday, 'cause here comes big Sister Madge in the beauteous body of Kim Novak, big as William Holden's Hal, bigger in certain places. Matching the music, matching the magic, moving out of the nameless night, out of the Eisenhower era, and up to Hal's held out handyman's hand, where they connect with each other like the electrified paper lanterns above them, and with us like the boat on the creek passing by. This is the dance that moves us through every image, through every stage and every age, loving beyond the night, beyond their love, beyond our love. But note how our hearts stop with their stopping with each that moon glow gave me you. And as we throb again, and Hal and Madge close in against any ending, Charles Dooning, Columbia's composer, dazzles his theme over Mills's chord changes. And we know why we want to be. Thank you. Here's a sonnet that I wrote when I finally went off to college, Boston University, and got asked in honors English to write a sonnet. And of course, I was homesick as hell, so that's what I wrote about. When young and yellow gladness warms the breeze and misty evenings linger apples sweet, thrilling the city's lonely grass and trees who beg the touch of fingers and bare feet, my fancies wander with the northbound tides, and over many a mile of salt spray fly until embracing pines on mountain sides, they sing to see their well-remembered sky. They stay a while upon each green-grown hill and revel with each new excited brook, then race their brothers down as brooklets will to grant the waiting sea her mother's look. There, vowing this perennial love to keep, upon a golden evening cloud, they sleep. And here's my best college buddy, whose girlfriend I accidentally stole and ended up marrying as my first wife, but that marriage didn't last that long. So Mark, I don't know, maybe that was justice. But I loved Mark. So this is for Mark. It's called Jingle Jangle. I followed the boots of my friend and the plaint of his guitar out onto the wettened ways of Boston's back bay. We sang sighs towards sleepless mornings, towards the separation of so many years after this sweet, brief time together. And we drank in what was there to breathe in and believe in while we could. Mark's chords cried out before anything that day. They bowed towards the past and flirted with the future. His fingers, long before losing, caught the strings and our hearts heard. This is how music lives, we said then. Thank you. David, do we have a little bit more time? Where is David? David.
Yes.
More.
Do it.
More, brother. More.
Don't talk about it. Do it. Don't think about it. Do it.
I'm just trying. I've always tried to be a good boy.
Yeah, no problem. Technically, there's like 4 minutes, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Bless your heart. Okay, here's something where I borrowed from W.H. Auden. This is when I finally, many years later, got back to school to get a degree in creative writing. And this is based on W.H. Auden's If I Could Tell You. Aside from Social Security, life earns nothing. Time only knows the price we have to pay, even for entertaining our emptiness. If we should weep when clowns put on their shows, and we want to lose ourselves in popcorn fondling, time will say nothing but, I told you so. I'll save you from the coming attractions, because I love you more than I can say. And I'll take you through the moonlight to the pier. The winds must come from somewhere when they blow, and when you hear the horn sound, curfews blare, time will say nothing but, I told you so. When I have walked your wondrousness back home, the vision seriously intends to stay. I'll keep you caged in my menagerie. Suppose the lions all get up and go, and all my lovers riding on their backs. Will time say nothing but, I told you so? Thank you for that. We are near an ending here, I think. Here's a poem for my second and hopefully last wife. This has been a much longer marriage with fruitful outcome. So, but this is back to when I met her. It's called The Fate of July. You were sitting in the sunshine of a happy holiday to which we'd gathered, sipping Pinot, seeking kisses. My heart hovered over the crisp allure of clothed curves, your hugging shorts, lightly starched shirt unbuttoned by my gaze. And somewhere, poised beyond the barbecue, a pretty Cupid in brief leafy tunic, her bare thighs squatting, lithe arms steadying her bow, took aim at all I wanted and let me have it, right where I could care forever. All right, let it be. Thank you all for listening. God, I'm so happy to be with you today.
Wow, Jeff, thanks. That was really a great set.
And